So I'm going to show you how to turn one of these into these using just a few handy tools and some Sharpie pens. Okay, here we go. So the first step is remove the label and clean the glue. If you're lucky, it comes off fairly easy with a little bit of residue. I like to use a little bit of WD-40 on a rag, and that tends to wipe it off. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of elbow grease, but in a few minutes you'll have it cleaned off and ready to go. Okay, so now that we have the bottle clean, the next step we have to do is cut the tops and the bottoms off. I like using the imprint line that comes with the bottle already. Now be careful when you do this part, because it is easy to slip and hurt yourself. And kids, get your parents' help with this. So, go ahead and cut the top and the bottom off. So you're left with a cylinder. And then go ahead and open that cylinder up. And now you're left with this clear plastic sheet. Now what I like to do is cut about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch wide, and I'll go all the way down and make a series of strips. Okay, so once you've cut the cylinder up and you've cut that strip out, now I'd like to go ahead and use the Sharpie, and whichever color you prefer, go ahead and color in the underside of the Sharpie of the strip.
Go.
Okay, now that you've taken your Sharpies and colored your plastic strips, all you have to do is wrap them around something and heat them in shape with a heat gun. And what I used is a little wire coat hanger that I bent into a shape just to make something that I could wrap the tool around. Preferably something metal that can handle the heat from the heat gun, and be careful because the heat gun does get hot. So I'll just take it and wrap it around several times until I get all the way to the end, trying to keep it straight and centered as much as possible. And then once you have it wrapped, I take a pair of little needle nose pliers that I got from Harbor Freight, where you can find at your local hardware store, and then you take the heat gun and just shrink wrap the plastic into place. The PET plastic shrinks when it heats up, and so it makes it easy to change the shape into that of a bead. And then after you've heated it up for a little bit, you gotta let it cool down. And you're left with a bead. I'll show that again. So what I do is I fold the tip just a little bit to give it a little bit to grab onto, and then wrap it and keep it tight, and that will help it from slipping. Sometimes these will slip and fly off and you have to reset. So if you use a little bit of patience, it's not too difficult. And we just heat it again and let the plastic shrink into place. And be careful, it is hot. And you're left with nice little beads. And then once you have a nice selection of beads that you can play with, the sky's the limit on the kinds of things that you can make. I made these little Broncos colored swizzle sticks. Go Broncos. Or you can make cool little hearts or shamrocks. Really, the sky's the limit.